To the Aaron Torres Podcast YouTube page. If you could do me a quick favor, see that little black subscribe button at the bottom of your screen? Go ahead, click that black subscribe button. Really does help our audience grow, really does help our channel grow, really does help and mean more than you could possibly know. So go ahead, hit that little black subscribe button. Also, thank you to our presenting sponsor, Betfred Sportsbook and the Betfred Sportsbook app. Bet 50 on any game, get $250 in free bets. Thank you again to Betfred. Thank you again to you. Now, here's the video that you came here for. Hey, I am back. Gonna be back. I do want to switch gears. And listen, this is what I want to do over the next 5, 6, 7, 10 minutes, however long I end up going. But there are times where we get a game that is so fun, so exciting, so entertaining that I just got to turn on the camera. We got to do a quick reaction and figure it out from there. This isn't scripted. I don't have a pile of notes with me, but we just have to react because we just saw an iconic all-time game in the NCAA tournament, one of the best games of this year, of recent years, of whatever, and it came from Des Moines, Iowa. There, Kansas, the reigning national champions, took on the Arkansas Razorbacks. Arkansas, of course, coming off back-to-back Elite Eight appearances, but it has been a long season. It has been a frustrating season, up and down, injuries, this, that, the other thing. I bring it up to say, these two teams got on the court, back and forth game, unbelievable finish, and how about this? For the third straight year, Arkansas headed to the second weekend of the NCAA tournament as Arkansas upsets the number 1 seed in the West region, the Kansas Jayhawks. They upset the defending national champs, third year in a row. Arkansas is headed to the Sweet 16. I cannot believe it. And I just got one question for everybody watching, and it's very simply this. Can anything stop the Big Pig invasion, baby? Can anything stop the Big Pig invasion as Eric Musselman in Arkansas is going to their third straight weekend, second weekend of the NCAA tournament in thrilling, stunning fashion? And by the way, if you love that t-shirt, link in the show description right down there in the YouTube description. And we got them available at AaronTorresOnline.com. But let's get into this because I just thought this was what everything that college basketball is about. Now, it wasn't perfect. There were too many foul calls. KJ Adams is out for most of the second half. He picks up 2 quick fouls early in the second half. Arkansas has a million fouls. Both Mitchell twins foul out. Jordan Walsh ends up fouling out. Devo Davis ends up fouling out. But at the same time, while it was frustrating in moments, this is what we love about college basketball, and this is what we love about the NCAA tournament. Back and forth, life and death. It feels like every single play is do or die, and it is because your season is on the line. For Kansas, you're trying to do it without your coach. You're trying to repeat. You're trying to do it against a team that was a top 10 team in the country, and frankly, if we're being perfectly honest, on the court, skill-wise, is every bit as good as you. Arkansas, as I just said, you're trying to overcome so much to get back to a third straight Sweet 16, potentially a third straight Elite Eight. And that was the game that we had as, again, back and forth, up and down, ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys. It was just incredible. But as I'm thinking about this game, you know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about 2 things. One, you know who won the game for Arkansas today? It was the veterans. It was the older guys. And that's what stands out to me, right? Because we love college basketball. We all do. But college basketball, a lot of the coverage has been hijacked by NBA draft people, all that good stuff, the people that only use college basketball as a feeder system to the pro route. Arkansas certainly has plenty of NBA talent on their roster, but you know who won them the game on Saturday? How about this? Devo Davis, third-year player, third year in Arkansas's program, was part of that first full Eric Musselman recruiting class with Jalen Williams and Moses Moody, who are now in the NBA. He finishes with 25 points. Kamani Johnson has maybe the biggest field goal of the season late in the game, put back for the win. And of course, Ricky Council, time after time after time, shot after shot after shot, gets the rebound, gets back to the foul line, hits the free throws that ultimately end up icing the game. And so when I think about this Arkansas team, I think about the veterans. And you know what else I think about? I think about the fact that this just point blank was not easy. Now, listen, it's never easy to make a run in the NCAA tournament. This is a hard event to win. As critical as I am of guys like Matt Painter and Tony Bennett, this thing is not easy. But when I look at this particular Arkansas team, think about everything that they went through this year. start in the top 10, lose early in the Maui Invitational, come back, they're steamrolling everybody. Trevin Brazil goes down with an injury. Nick Smith was not ready to play at the start of the season because of a knee injury. Then you lose Trevin Brazil. Then you bring back Nick Smith. Then, oh, by the way, Nick Smith gets hurt again, re-aggravates his knee injury, and is out about 5 to 6 weeks. So you're down 2 lottery picks all season for the first probably 60% of the season. Then Nick Smith comes back late in the year, and it's really tough to readjust this lineup with him in there. They struggled down the stretch. They lost in the second round of the NCAA tournament. But Eric Musselman said from the beginning, he said, listen, it's been up and down. And I believe his exact quote was, we can lose to anybody, but we can beat anybody, which is something that he proved today. Finally, speaking of Eric Musselman, listen, man, I'll just say this. Listen, I get a lot of stuff right. I get a lot of stuff wrong, and I get criticized for a lot. Oh, Torres, you talk too much about Arkansas. You talk too much about Musselman. You've been giving Musselman too much credit all this time. Well, at the end of the day, first of all, what can I say? I look smart. You look dumb. There's nothing else for me to say. I've told you since I spent time around this guy at Nevada and his coaching staff, this dude's different. This dude's built for the NCAA tournament, and nothing has changed since the day he got to Arkansas. He makes the Sweet 16 at Nevada, but I said the day that he got hired at Arkansas, I said, this guy is a grand slam, home run, no doubt about it, hire at Arkansas. But I also have a confession to make. I didn't think he'd be this good, this quick, and this consistent. Because remember what the resume was coming in. Made a Sweet 16 run, built a power at Nevada. But could he recruit high school players? Could he win at the Power 5 level? Could he continue that success from Nevada to Arkansas? Well, fast forward. 3 Sweet 16s, 2 Elite 8s, maybe a third. And oh, by the way, this thing ain't slowing down anytime soon. First off, they're going to Vegas next weekend. I hate to say it. I live about 3 hours from Vegas, and they could be playing my alma mater, UConn, in that game. Unfortunately, shout out to a good friend of mine and a listener of this podcast, the Aaron Torres podcast. He's getting married on Friday. He's got rehearsal on Thursday. I don't think I'll be able to go. But I just bring it up to very simply say, doubt this guy at your own risk. Doubt this program at your own peril. Because it doesn't matter what happens in November. It doesn't matter what happens in December. The sign of a great coach and a well-run program is that they always play their best in the biggest games. To me, they're almost the opposite of Purdue under Matt Painter. Purdue's great in November, great in January. Then you get into February, that second time through in conference play. All of a sudden, they start losing games. Struggle generally in the Big Ten tournament, even though they had success. Lose early in the NCAA tournament. And I say Purdue had success this year in the Big Ten tournament, but in general, they struggle at that event. And in general, they struggle in the NCAA tournament. Eric Musselman in Arkansas is the exact opposite. When you have a new team like this every single year, stuff is going to happen. It's going to take time. It's not always going to be easy. But this year specifically, I think it was as tough, as challenging as any road for any program in college basketball. Tennessee, by the way, advanced to the Sweet 16. They've dealt with a lot of injuries. Kentucky has dealt with a lot of injuries. UCLA, which is playing later after I record this, has dealt with injuries. I don't know that anyone has dealt with what Arkansas has dealt with, the good and the bad, players coming, players going. You think they're out for the season, then they're coming back. Yet despite all the turmoil, despite all the whatever, they are headed to the Sweet 16 for the 3rd straight year. I think this is as good of a tournament coaching job. And I'll just say this, like I said a minute ago, doubt Eric Musselman at your own peril. Doubt Arkansas at your own peril. I believe this guy is as good of a tournament coach as there is, program builder, whatever. One more time. Say it with me now. Say it with me now as I do this. Here's the thing. Can anything stop the Big Pig invasion? No, it cannot. Congrats, Arkansas fans, headed to your 3rd straight Sweet 16. If I don't see you out there, enjoy Vegas. By the way, if you enjoyed this video, do me a quick favor. Subscribe to the Aaron Torres Podcast YouTube channel. Click the subscribe button down below. Leave a quick like, a rating, a review, or whatever. And also make sure to listen to full episodes of the Aaron Torres Podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.